It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. My name is Heath, and tonight is Technology as a Tool, Not as an Obstacle. I thought I would show you how I am planning to add lighting to be able to illuminate one of my shelves. I've got a layout plan for under the shelf, so I'm going to use the upper shelf, attach some lighting to it, and go from there. And I have seen there's a lot of interesting conversations already happening, which made me think that there might be a little bit more to this conversation. But I do plan on getting out the soldering iron, and I said that I was going to watch some soldering videos before tonight, and I didn't do it. So this, could be as much of an adventure as any other stream. Let's see, we got Rebel here, Cascade Southern model trains in the house. We've got Roy Hardwick, Container Man 68's here, Gary Creepy 013, Derek Alexander's in the house, Dwight Curley joining us as well. Eddie Peppert is here as well, Lauren Hurwitz in the house, Lynn McCurdy and the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. Adam Cruz just stepping in. We've got Martin Searsma is here, Joey from Late Night Model Railroad. We've got Marty from M&M Short Lines Railroad, Andrew Mr. Pictovid, Missile Hunter 5, Norman Rowe is here. We've got Mickey Cullens, also known as Pirates of the Model Trains. We've got Rayron VR. Oh, we've got RDNT. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a little while now. We've got Roy Eltham joining us. We've got Shays N-Scale. And at the bottom of the list, but not last, is Steven from Wigwag Workshop. I do just want to take a minute and mention I've got a Discord channel now that there's been some interesting conversations there. We've got some conversations about technology as a tool, as well as like model train stuff, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know people from a little bit of a different perspective. So if you are a Discord person or want to become a Discord person, come check it out, come say hello, and we'll we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of laughing. Ron Moen just said, "I'm not all here again." I don't know when any of us are ever all here. I mean, tonight, they used to call Wednesday Hump Day, and it does still definitely feel like that as well. Yeah, we're gonna try not to burn any fingers today, but it might happen. So we'll see. As I mentioned on Monday, the dog has still been a little under the weather. The medicine we were giving her, she's not reacting to really well. So we stopped the medicine, but she's been keeping us up, and we, need to be taking care of her. So I'm just going to jump right in, and, we'll hit the ground running, and we'll go from there, and we'll see what happens. So let me just show you guys really quickly. That's the wrong one. Over there is two shelves on top of each other. There's this lower shelf, and that's where the layout's going to go. And then this shelf right now, I took all the stuff off of it, and I'm going to take that shelf, and that's the shelf that I'm going to put this tape light on. I've been using the tape light on all of my shelves. Alexa, turn on the shelf lights. You saw behind me right there, my display shelf in the back, the lights came on. I like these type of LED lights. They aren't as durable as like an LED shop light or something that's got a lot more heat dissipation abilities to them. And technically I should be putting this tape light on a metal substrate to help dissipate the heat, but I haven't been doing that. I've just been sticking them to the wood and going with it. What we're going to do tonight, though, is there are places where you can cut these, and this is one right here. And what you do is you cut it, and then you can separate it and then solder it back together. So on the bottom of the shelf, I'm going to make a sort of a zigzag shape with this stuff, and hopefully it'll all still work once I'm done with it. And just to show that it does work, so I think you can see that it's all on right now. So when we start cutting it up, hopefully it'll work. So Joey says they don't get that hot though, right? It depends. These are lower wattage ones. They're RGB. So at full white, they will get warm, but some of them do get very hot. And if you want to, extend the life of them, the best thing is really to put them on a metal substrate. It's funny, yeah, I say that, now I can't find it. I had here it is. It was literally right in front of me and I couldn't find it. I've got the fire extinguisher is handy, so I don't have the hopefully the fire marshal sees safety second. Safety second. These are different than Christmas lights. These are what is called surface mounted diodes, or SMDs, and these attach differently. Typically Christmas lights wouldn't necessarily use this technology. I started using tapelight in about 2012 when I was working in architectural lighting. They've changed a lot since then. Copper tape would definitely work. You know, for heat dissipation, what you need is basically two things: airflow and a large surface area. And when you mount lights under a shelf, in general, they don't have any airflow, so you compensate by adding, metal. Copper tape, while it would help, it's not really thick enough to make a big difference. But it probably would be better than nothing. I don't know who Fire Marshal Bill is. I feel like I'm missing something. Wait a second. I joined the Slam Your Hand in a Dumpster Door While It Closes club this year. Well, Joey, why did you do that? That's going to make it difficult to do your modeling. So let's grab this shelf. I'm grabbing the upper shelf, not the lower shelf. And so one of the things that I already did, and I hope this is going to show up. I don't know if it's going to. Oh yeah, we can see it. Okay. So I already marked out where the brackets on the shelf are going to go. And I did that because I'm going to run the tape light basically back and forth in this area here. And then I'm going to have one strip along the edge. Now, here's where, what about plumber's tape? You talking about the plumber's strapping with all the holes in it? I wouldn't use it. If you go on Amazon, for pretty cheap, you can find LED extrusions specifically made for this type of LED, and they're not that expensive. So, yeah. Joey has actually left N scale. He's now in the HO scale world. But I agree. I think Joey should do a G scale layout as well. That would be kind of fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up into sections. I've already numbered the sections just to keep them in the same order, but they're I have a sheltered life because I don't know who Fireman Bill is. I'll look it up later. So I'm going to put 2 rows along the edge, and the reason I'm going to do 2 along the edge is because the way I envision this is that the camera will be pointing in from the front, so I want the majority of the light on the front. But then there'll be more than enough light everywhere else as well. So I'm going to unplug this before I cut it. Oh, it's a Saturday night skit. I have not seen Saturday Night Live in a really long time. I used to like the show when I was a much younger person, but I really haven't seen it in a while. So one thing to mention is I kind of made a mistake. This tape light only cuts about every 12 inches. All of my other tape light cuts about every 2 inches or so. So because of that, I'm very limited in where I can, where I can cut it. So it's not going to fit quite as well as I want, but it'll work okay. It'll work fine as well. Living color would make more sense to me than Saturday Night Live, but who knows. Jigoku, if you want, one of the things you could do would be join the Discord. When I post the reminder for this video, it pops up on my Discord channel in my HCJ videos section, and that is another way to get notifications of when my streams are going to happen. So, okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the end 2 sections, and you need to cut, if you don't know, if there's anybody that's never seen this tape light before, if we zoom in right here, you need to cut straight down the center of the line there. And then they give you these little pads to basically solder on either side of it. Dennis from Otter Creek and Rio Grande, I don't know if you're being serious or not, but this is called tape light. Basically, it's got 3M adhesive on the back and lights on the other side, so they call it tape light. But we're gonna cut it, right down the center. So the outsides are gonna be 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3. So the first cut, and of course the camera's being difficult again. So the first cut we're gonna make right here. And as you can see, this one is actually already been soldered together, so it's already got some solder on it, but we're just gonna cut right through the center of it. There we go. So there's the first one, and this one has, let's back this off because we're just having problems today. Uh-oh. That was bad. I don't know what I almost unplugged, but I just almost unplugged my camera. So this first one here is going to go along the front here. And what I'm going to do is, before I stick this down, I'm going to add solder to all of the pads on the end. And then I'm going to stick it down, and then I'm going to use the wire to connect it. Yeah, Joey, before the stream, I changed some settings which I thought would help with the focus a little bit, but yeah, Rebel, I think, isn't that why people come here, is to see all the problems I have? Okay, so let's cut another 3. So let's we got 1, we got 2. So I am going to be very curious. Oh, look at that. Here's another one where it looks like they make these in sections of 3. Because this one's got the solder on the joint as well. So now I've got 2 3s. And unfortunately, to get these to fit in here, I'm going to have to cut each one of these now down to its shortest length, which is this like 12-inch length, and then they'll go here, and I'll do the wiring back and forth, and then here the wiring back and forth, and that's kind of gonna be how this is gonna go. If people have not seen, speaking about not doing live streams but doing videos, go check out Joey's latest video. He builds an, is it ITLA kit? And Joey, you should be able to post the link if you want. But he builds a kit, and it's a very in-depth on how to do it, and it's really good. It's a really good video. Check that out. So now I'm gonna cut these into their 1-foot sections, and then after I do that, we'll get to adding some solder onto these pads, because I know everybody wants to see me try and solder. The other thing I need to make sure that I do is keep these in the same orientation, because they all got a certain amount of LEDs on them, and then they've all got an LED driver chip on them. And the LED driver chip needs to be in the same orientation, or the lights are not gonna work. Oh, all right. Joey's on his phone, but go to his channel, check it out. It's ITLA. It's a pretty neat, pretty good video he does. Post the link of the build if you can. Joey, remind us in a little bit, and I'll see if somebody else comes in, we'll have them post the link up. So right now we're just cutting all of these, and cutting them off, and then we'll add solder. Solder. People didn't see the poll up tonight was asking whether you use tapelight or not. And I was just sort of curious how many people here already have experience with tapelight and how many people have never seen it before. Do you have your sponge wet? Edward, I do have my sponge wet. I wet it before the stream started. I just peed on it a little bit. Got it a little wet, and we'll be. No, I didn't pee on it. Yeah, I have water over here, and I just used the water. We're gonna get out the quad hands that Mr. Roy Eltham got for me, and I'm gonna try to use these to help me hold things in a position where maybe I can get a little bit of solder on these. Let's do it like this. Yeah, I might want to go to I think I'm gonna go to manual focus again, which is always a bit of an adventure. But manual focus will allow me to come in here and everybody could see how terrible I am at soldering. So I'm heating up the soldering iron right now. I'm actually going to turn on, Alexa, turn on filter. I got an air filter in here that does a pretty good job. Edward's comment was initially flagged. Uh-oh, what did Edward say now? Oh, do you have your sponge wet? Oh, that was flagged? Really? That's funny. Roy does spread the wealth, generous guy. Roy Eltham has been a huge support to this channel. But Roy is not the only one, although Roy has been very generous. I do need to acknowledge I do have I do have members both on YouTube and Patreon that are big supporters of the channel, as well as 2 channel sponsors. So while I'm getting this set up, I'm just going to run my thank yous really quickly, and I'll be back in a second. So the clamp isn't available at Iron Planet Hobbies. It is available on Amazon, though. I don't have the link handy for it, but maybe Roy can post the link. This is a great question. Why have it in the air? I don't know. I kind of want it on the ground, but I'm not sure. I wanted to use this, but I'm not sure. Oh, maybe this will work. Here we go. I'm also trying not to start a fire. And that's, there's paper on the desk. There's all kinds of things, right on the desk that I, as people have stated, do I have, I mean, I can put this might help a little bit. That should work. The other thing I have is I got some flux. I got this flux from AK Crazy Russian over at what's it called? DCC Trains, and that is that's where I got this. So we're gonna try out this flux. This is the same flux that I know Royaltham uses, and I'm assuming some other people are using as well. I forget exactly what it's called, but it is called. Gee, Heath, it's not a blowtorch. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying not to burn anything down. Yeah, I need a fire brick. Starting fires can be fun. Yeah, I'm not that into it though. So I do have the flux. The other thing that I have is I got this Kester 0.031 stuff. And then I've got this, what did I say? This was 0.8. So don't pick up the 1, 2, 3 block after heating it up, or your handle look like Swiss cheese. Andy, that is a good suggestion. We'll see if I actually remember it when I actually get to that point, which I'm guessing the answer is going to be no. I'm going to forget. So let's. Now I'm making a mess. I'm just trying to move this back a little bit so I can rest my hand on the table a little bit. So the iron is still heating up. I've got it set at 700. Yeah, I think it might be a little better in the air too, but we're gonna see. The block will sink heat and make it harder. There is still the 3M tape on the back, so there's very, very poor heat transfer right now. No, Heath will not. Heath will not pick up the hot 1, 2, 3 block. With the heated medallion, there you go. Yes, I definitely remember that. I definitely do. Let me refocus this camera because I think the focus is slightly off. I think that's in focus. Really hard to tell. Okay, you can borrow Rita to hold it up for you. Isn't Rita like wood? Isn't she cut from the same cloth as Mr. Rick? So I'm just putting a drop of flux on each of these little contacts. And hopefully, I don't know why, stand by. Why does it say stand by? I don't know why my soldering iron is saying stand by and not heating up properly. Here's Joey's Joey Late Night Model Railroad. Here's the ITLA build video. Hang out for a little bit with me and watch me burn some stuff, but then definitely go check that out. Why is this? All right, so just turned it off, turned it back on again, and let's let it heat up again. Yeah, that's what I sort of figured. Is I just waited too long. So we're gonna try it. There we go. 500, 515, 530. We're getting somewhere now. So, all right. Do not follow my soldering technique. This is how I solder. This is not how anybody in their right mind should probably solder. Yeah, I think I just turned it on too soon and didn't get to it in time. Is Edward making more comments that we need to flag? So I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but putting the solder on the on the soldering iron and then just touching it to the piece is actually seems to be the easier way to do it. So I think I might keep doing it that way. He's going to fill up the holes in his block with solder. I hope not. Although if I do, I do. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Oh, my phone just told me it's 10:30. It's time to go to sleep. All right, so there we go. Brick isn't cut from cloth, Heath. He's made from sawdust. Yeah, I know. I realize I misspoke when I said that. Next one down. Keep going. We're on a roll now. So this is just step one. After this, we'll put it onto the thing. You can't make a 90-degree left turn or right turn with it, but you can, bend it up and down. So, you know. Yeah, I'm trying to get enough heat into it to get the solder, to get a good solder joint, but not too much heat that I'm burning anything. But 700 seems to be working okay. Doesn't seem to be causing any problems. They do sell 90-degree clips if you don't want to solder the wires. There are systems that have clips. I personally find it just as easy to just, solder the wires. It gives you more options. You'll see with the setup I'm doing right now, I'm not really going to be doing any 90-degree angles. What I'm really going to be doing is 180 degrees. So I'm going to be going, like back and forth. So yeah, to go back and forth. I wonder why wet sponge. Did Edward's wet sponge comment get flagged that time also? I think that's actually pretty funny that it keeps so I think I just put that on autofocus. Get that out of the way a little bit so I don't keep hitting my head on it. Hopefully this isn't going to take like 12 hours. No flag this time. It's learning. So apparently now that it knows I'm a wet sponge, it's more agreeable to allowing it through. Come on. Yeah, to some extent, this would be a little easier if I had this on something, because I am pushing it down a little bit, and when I push it down, away from me, it moves away a little bit, and then it's kind of hard to. Makes it a little hard to solder, but we're getting there. I don't know what solder they've used though, so it should be interesting to see how well that works as well. Wet sponge is what's used on the top of a person being electrocuted between the metal cap and the skull. Whew. What's the difference from the bottom of this shelf to the rail below it? So I'm doing N scale. This one here, so the new one I'm working on now is about 12.5 inches. But that one right there is about 9 inches. So that gives a little bit of perspective. So I don't really have room for like a big, a big light, which is why I'm using the tape light. Yeah, this is 6337 is what I have. 6337. I don't really know, like, how much different is 6337 and 6040? Didn't need that visual. Did I do something? Yeah, put my hard hat on so I stop hitting my head on the camera. Randall says gonna try to make it to 10, but it's rough. Been awake since 4 p.m. yesterday. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. That is rough. Uh-oh. That was interesting. I don't know what just happened, but I turned on and off the soldering iron, and my my screen just turned on and off for some strange reason. I don't know. I don't really know what happened there. No, wet the sponge for capital punishment. So this is going moderately better than I expected. And as those words left my mouth, I realized that that was probably a mistake and I should not have said it. Lynn, I don't know if it was a power surge or what. I really need to do some cable management. I have yet to really lock all of that in, and I have a feeling that that could be part of my issue is a cable management problem. I bet my soldering experience sucks because I'm using the wrong solder. Joey, there a couple weeks ago, I was doing some soldering, and I thought I read somewhere to put the temperature of the iron at 350. And I was having a nightmare of a time. And I forget who said it. I think like 30 people said, turn up the darn iron. And when I turned up the iron, all of a sudden, soldering became so much easier. So it could be the solder. There's a chance it could also be a lack of heat. It could be a lack of flux. Flux is your friend. And this little bottle with the flux in it's actually been working out quite well. Limit Curdy says, I have a friend that when someone used the microwave, the TV turns off. Yeah, that happens too. And Joey, the other thing that I've found is a lot of those sort of like fixed temperature soldering irons aren't for electronics. They're more for, a little bit more brute force type of soldering, I guess you can say. And that, to do a little bit more of the finer soldering, that, it helps a little better. Then again, I guess, so if you're good at soldering, don't it is what it is. Creepy says hydration is important. I don't know if he's talking about the use of the flux or if he's talking about something else. I do not recommend drinking the flux. Flux is very sticky. I didn't realize how sticky the flux would be. Flux definitely helps. Flux definitely makes this so much easier. Okay, so now we're on our last two, I believe. And that one's already done. And I think this one might already be done too. Yep. So next step, so I'm going to turn off the soldering iron for a second. I am going to get, these are just little alcohol wipes. I use them for whatever I use them for. And the, I'm just going to wipe off some of the, oh, hold on. This one snuck away. I've got one more. Randall, I did not pre-order any scale train stuff. Thanks to Roy Eltham, I've already pre-ordered a whole bunch of micro train stuff, and that's where that's where all my budget's going right now, is to more micro trains. Has a Constellation series, and I've ordered the Constellation series, and we'll be getting some of that. In addition to Discord, I do have an email list. If people like email over Discord, you can definitely do that as well. Conrail 8098. Welcome, sir. Roy Eltham says welcome. Yeah, you know, doing this. Oh, I don't. Martin, I've had one of those soldering guns when I was a kid. Those things, I don't like those. But yeah, I have, this is a Weller right now. It's like a Weller digital one. But if it wasn't for the people in the chat and like doing this live on the stream, I wouldn't be soldering this well right now. So I will say this has been a community effort getting Heath to learn to solder a little better. And now that I've got things set up correctly, it's actually pretty easy. So we'll get back to that alcohol wipe in 1 second, but basically I'm just going to use the alcohol wipe to clean up the flux a little bit on the ends of this. Yeah, Lynn, that does not sound like a fun time. I will tell you that now. So there we go. I think this is the, yep, that's the last one. So now I'm just going to wipe the ends off a little bit just before I move on to attaching them to the shelf. And then we're going to figure out the pattern that I'm going to want to do on the shelf. It's best not to buy new trains this time of year. If you can get away with it, wait until the holidays. Things will be less expensive. Yeah, unless you're buying, you know, new stuff. So let's see. Does this help at all? I thought this would help get some of the flux off, but it doesn't seem to be. So it's looking like I'm just not going to worry about it. Which it shouldn't matter anyway. Yeah, I wasn't in a motorcycle gang, but I did ride a motorcycle. That is a true story. Alright, so here's the shelf. Let's see if I can move some stuff back a little bit. So here's the shelf. the power for the shelf lighting, I want to end in this corner here. So this guy with the power is definitely going to go down on this end. And then what I need to do is figure out how many shorts I have to do all the short ones. So that's my other long one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So since I have 9 of them, so this is where my brain starts hurting. So since I have 9 of them, what we're gonna do is if this one runs this way, then this one needs to run opposite it. And then this one runs opposite of that one. Okay, so now we're down here. Then this one runs opposite it. Okay, so with 5 of them, I'll end up going in the wrong direction, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 5. 5 will bring me back to here. Right? So if I do 5, it means this one ends here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It ends in the center here. And then this one will jump over to this guy. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then somehow I need to figure out how to feed these guys. Now, like this is, I don't know why, I'm having a hard time right now thinking. I don't advise thinking. Thinking is overrated. So if I do 1, 2, 3, or 5 and end in the center, then I think what I want to do is come down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, which then I end in the center again, which then means I would need to run the wire over to this side. So is there another option? If I spin this around, so Norman's asking how many in total. So I have 9 short pieces and then 2 long pieces. So the long pieces are going to run along the front edge here, which will be in front of where the brackets are. And the 9 short ones will run in between here as well. So if I put this here, yeah, I don't think there's any real good way to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The wire ends here. Then I could theoretically connect it to this strip and run down here. But then when I go back, I'm still there. So I don't think there's any good way to do this. I think I'm just going to. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna glue them down and make it happen. I don't think there's a good way to do this. I think I just need to do it. And so this is going to go here, and then this cable will run down along the corner. So that's what we're doing. If anyone's wondering, these are from GoV. It's inexpensive. Oh, how many lights per piece? Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LEDs per strip. They're RGB though, so they change colors and stuff. I'm looking for what I was hoping to find. I know. I know. I gotta stop thinking. I agree, David. I agree. I wonder if a thin panel light would be a good option for shelf layouts. I saw those at Home Depot tonight. Not a lot of lumens, but tighter space if it should work fine. So these, I think I paid $20, maybe $25 for this strip. I'm gonna guess that those panels will be more. I'm guessing those panels are more expensive. So. Okay, so I found what I wanted, and this is what we're gonna do. So this one I'm gonna put right down here. It's still on camera. This guy's gonna go right here. Right there. Okay, so that one's down. And what I was looking for is in other kits that I got, I've got this little small baggie of things. These are pretty bright. What's on behind me back there, I think that's at like 30% or something. Alexa, set shelf light on full. So I don't know if you could see it just bounced up, and it's a lot brighter. Alexa, set shelf light at 30%. So this clip right here that I just got out, I'm going to use this clip on the end here. And the reason I'm going to put this clip here is because I can screw this clip in, and then it will help hold it down to the it'll help hold it down when when this wire starts pulling on it. It'll hold it down so it doesn't pull that wire off. So it's got adhesive, and I'm going to use the adhesive, and I'm going to also use one of the provided screws. Just got really bright in here. Thank you so much, Mr. Pictovid. I really appreciate it. Of course, this is a number 1 screw, not a number 2 screw. So I need to get out something that's got a number 1 Phillips. Let's see. This one should have a number 1 Phillips. There we go. So now this will fit better. So you need to, because of the, I'm going to push down on this and flip the shelf up in the air. Because of the type of strips these are, they have little chips in them, so they can determine the order with which they're in. So I can't change the wiring. They have to connect to each other in the correct orientation, or they won't light up properly. So that's kind of the issue there, I guess you can say. Okay. First one's down. So we've got, this one goes this way, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this one goes this way. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this one goes the same direction as this one. And I am going to get a straight edge, because I lose my piece of paper. And I am going to put the straight edge on the front of this, so that I have some semblance of a chance of getting this guy straight. And we're going to put it kind of in the middle-ish. One in the middle? Yeah, we're going to put it a little bit in the middle-ish. Sounds like Dr. Seuss. Who sounds like Dr. Seuss? Me? Am I doing the Dr. Seuss thing? What is? Oh, it's the carpet. I'm like, what? I couldn't figure out what was in the camera view. Uh, Lynn, did you really do that? Actually, I kind of expect that from you, Lynn. That is actually something I can totally see Lynn doing, is buying trains out of the back of a guy's trunk. So hopefully I'm putting this down in the correct direction. And because these don't split into smaller sections, what I'm going to do is the one's going to be on this side and the other's going to be on this side, and then the one will be on this side, so that they're staggered a little bit to kind of fill in the to kind of fill everything in. So this guy's going to go back along this side, and I'm just eyeballing this. You know, I could measure this out and all that kind of stuff. No Lynn's comment. Those guys selling rail cars in trench coats on the corner. Yeah. Now I want to make a short video of someone exchanging a suitcase of money for a suitcase of trains. Joey, that's a great video idea, actually. Oh, you know what you could do, Joey? The other thing you could do would be to have a guy trading like N scale trains for HO scale trains, or something along those lines as well, which I think would be it would amuse me, at least. I don't know who else it would amuse, but it would definitely amuse me. So I'm leaving a little bit of space for wires. So you can see the names are all going in the same direction, and then these two, the names will go in the opposite direction, and they'll start here. So unfortunately, I am going to have wires that kind of go like this will take a little bit of wiring management. Yeah, exactly, Joey. Exactly. You ready to switch? Yeah, I got the goods. Great. Here's the HO. Give me the N. Totally. Totally. Andrew says, who here hasn't bought trains from another man's car truck? So technically, if you've ever been to a train show, you've essentially bought trains from a guy out of his trunk. Because that is kind of the way that whole thing works. So is anybody as curious as to whether this is going to work at all as I am? I feel like I put this one a little too close to the center here. I think I should have put it a little farther out. Yeah, Joey, that would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm thinking about going to Strasbourg maybe in May. I just got to see how the job situation is, and whether, I've been able to save up enough money to do a trip like that. I'm going to Amherst in January, and I'm gonna take the train up and back, and that's gonna save a lot of money doing the train up and back. I don't know though I don't know if there's a train that it'll get me out to Strasbourg or not. Maybe I can convince someone to swing by and pick me up in the city on their way. Although I think I'm probably one of the guys pretty far to the east side. All right, so here we go. So now this guy is going to go here on this side. We're going to start this guy pretty close to this side here, because it's going to, so these wires here will pick up over to here. I just realized I don't know what I have just black and red wires. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if I should maybe... I've got black and red, and I do have some blue and white. I was trying to save the blue and white for the t-trak modules, but I'm thinking maybe I'll do the black and the red as the power, and do the blue and the white as the data, just so that I have 4 different colors of wire for each thing. I think that might be a smart idea. So these lights up here, they cut like every 2 inches, but these are only white. I just realized you can't see. I got these lights over here, but they're just white, and they're just on a switch, and I kind of use them over this work area. But I don't have, and they cut every 2 inches. I don't know what happened that I got these that I didn't realize that they didn't, I don't know. I didn't realize it when I got these. They'll be okay. They're gonna work out okay. So this will go this way. This will go this way. And then this one will go this way again. So let's put this one on first. Oh, this might... Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Now I'm confusing myself. Oh, right. The wires are going to end up over here on this side. Right. Okay. Lynn McCurdy says, this year I sold cars to Tina Marie Mojave Railroad for $20 and gave the money back to my wife. That's too funny. I'm kind of curious how far I'm going to get on this project tonight. It's already 11 o'clock. I was thinking that this would... I was thinking this wouldn't take this long. But apparently I am a bad judge of my own time. Oh, look at this! Tina Marie pops up right as Lynn mentions her. Hello, Tina! So we're going here. If you want to see somebody solder, check out Tina Marie's video. She's got a hot air soldering gun, which... if you ever want to do a lot of this electronic stuff, that is a set to get. Or that is a type of soldering iron to get. This is like on a wonky angle. Did I mess that up? Is it going to be okay? You know, I probably shouldn't be pulling this up, but it's bothering me. There we go. Never as stuck down as well the second time, but my OCD was kicking in, and I had to, not my real OCD, but my fake OCD. Past your bedtime, Heathy Poo. Yes, Shane. Yes, it is. It is past my bedtime. Yeah, Derek says we never think it's gonna take that long. 4.5 hours later, and we're still going. I'm just kidding. We're not quite at 4.5 hours yet. And I will definitely not be going 4.5 hours tonight. I kind of have a feeling that when I get to the wires, it might go a little quicker. I definitely kind of... I slowed down a bit when I was trying to think. Thinking really hurt. Thinking really caused me some pain. So this is going to go here. So this one will need to wire up to that, which, you know, we'll make happen. So then this one will go this way. And I'm going to put this one on first. This is my end piece. I'm going to put this guy on first, and I'm going to put it kind of close to the edge. And I'll put the next one in between it. I'm just sort of seeing where it wants to line up. And I think I know what I want. Yeah. Little did he know, peeling the light off was Heath's first mistake. It was probably my first, and probably will not be my last. So we've got that going for me. I don't know what's going on a little bit here with this end one, but it's sticky. Oh no. The sticky is staying on the sticky is not coming off. So I got to start from the other end. Start from this end. So is that going to be right? Yeah, that's going to be right. These lights can do like chase effects and stuff like that. They are pretty bright, Tina Marie. The reason why I'm doing so many, though, is so that I don't have to turn them up that bright, and I can still get like a pretty nice coverage on them. So I don't plan on running them at, you know, at full. And also, they can be different colors. So when you do them in blue, you know, the intensity is a lot lower. So that'll make a difference as well. You know, depending on what color I'm set on. But yeah, it's so I can dim them. They dim pretty well. You don't see or at least I haven't yet. I haven't yet noticed the flickering on camera with these at all. So I think I'm in good shape as far as, you know, running them fairly low. And we're going to find out. I mean, we're going to find out if any of this actually works. There are people smoking right outside the window, and I could smell it. Tina Marie, yes, I have white and blue on my layout with dimmers. Yeah, there you go. Let's do this way. So I'm alternating the LED diodes right now on this one. So I'm kind of doing a diagonal thing. The good news about using these lights is when you have problems, you just rip them up and start over again. You know, I chose these because they're cheap. You know, these aren't high quality, but I don't see the flicker, so, you know, I think we're all good. Yeah, I can make this smoke more than them. I am hoping that I don't cause any smoke, but I guarantee nothing. Nothing is guaranteed. I guess the thing that I need to do that I haven't done yet is going to be tinning all the wires, which is probably what's going to take a really long time. You know, is tinning the wires as I go. So now what I basically just need to do is take this wire, just kind of start here and just work my way back and forth. And that's, you know, well, I'll be curious to see if it works or not. So I think I'm going to use these for the 24 volts. I'll use the red for the positive, and I'll use the black as the negative, which would basically be your typical colors for this kind of stuff. So does anyone think I can get away with not tinning these wires and just solder this stuff on and move on with my life? Or do I really need to tin all of these wires before I do this soldering? Because I would really love to just be able to just do it. But is that shortcut of just doing this and not tinning these wires gonna burn myself? So Tina Marie says I use 5-meter 50/50 LED diodes, double row lights. They are in a waterproof plastic casing. I tried using the lights like yours on the custom airbrush and they fell off within a month. I've been pretty lucky. The ones back here have been going for a decent amount of time. I'm being told to tin the darn wires. Stop being so lazy. I'm gonna use this flux for this. What I do with this flux usually is I just shove it on the end. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not, but that's what I do. Like it or not, you know. So, tin the wires. We come over here. This is where it would help if I was more ambidextrous than I am, but I'm not. One wire. Yeah, everyone seems to be saying tin the darn wires, stop being lazy. So we did. I tin these wires. The hard part's gonna kind of be getting the length of everything right. You know, so now I have these two wires and I'll want them to kind of run here and they'll need to make a nice little turn. And then they'll land where they're gonna land. So let's cut that one. Then let's cut this one. Definitely feeling some pressure to like speed up. Like I feel like, I gotta get this done. Let's see, 22. So by the way, for people that were wondering, yes, tinning the wire definitely really helped. So I recommend it. Only at 88 miles per hour. Sorry to add, but wouldn't it be easier to have added the wire at least on one end before attaching the strips to the board? Yes, but then I would have had to pre-cut all the wires, and I don't have any idea of how long I want the wires to be, and I didn't want to. I'm gonna say the word this way, but I didn't want to waste a lot of wire. I don't know why this wire is so expensive. I don't know why all wires are so expensive. Are the connectors expensive? The connectors aren't that expensive for this kind of stuff, but they just wouldn't be the length that I needed them. And that's more the issue for me is getting them at the length that I want them. I'm trying to make this, as neat as possible. I wish I knew. I'm looking for my little clips. So, got these little clips. I'm going to use these to help me. So these are going to help me hold these wires when I do this connection. At least theoretically. I'm doing it left-handed. This strip needs 4 wires. So I'm going to do I'm doing the power ones right now. And then I'm going to grab the blue and white wire that I've got behind me. And with the blue and white wire, we will do the other 2. So that's at least the plan. Is I'll do a couple of these and then do a couple of the blues and get some of this happening. So I didn't cut them. They're not perfect lengths. I'm not going to win any awards for this. I just need to kind of keep them from. I have I have like zip tie things that I'll use to kind of zip these together, but I guess I should have made them. Could have made these wires a little shorter, and probably done a little bit better. But let's keep going because we're having fun. I'm gonna wire up 2 of these, and then we'll do a little test. My typing is delayed from the video. Make sure you're live. Are you live? Or are you Memorex? Yeah, I did not. I really underestimated my abilities to do this quickly. This is definitely going to take me some time. I should not test them and just make everybody hang out. See if maybe do another 4.5-hour stream. So how do I get the soldering iron out of standby? Well, that did it, but I hit through the menu like 12 times. I'm going to take my little clips. We're going to come down to this end. I don't know if I need the clips. Solder, solder. We go solder, solder. Okay. Now we're going to cut these. Cut these a little shorter than those other ones. 4.5 hours, you ain't seen nothing yet? Who's gonna do a stream longer than 4.5 hours? Maybe Split Rock was saying he might do an after when I get off. Split Rock may jump on. Maybe he'll go for a couple hours. I gotta say, Roy, this helping hands has been very helpful. I would definitely recommend these if you're looking for a pair of hands. Extra pair of hands. It says to just press Control to exit strategy. There we go. I wonder if it might make some sort of connector scene over the solder. Yes, they do make connectors, but then you just have to make up all the connectors. So it's, you know, half a dozen of one thing. Soldering them is definitely the cheapest way to do it. And I'm trying to do this somewhat on a budget. And I thought it would be fun to, you know, to solder with everybody. Because I know how much everybody likes seeing me flounder a little bit. Yeah, that's not at all what I typed. Need your vision checked. What'd you say? Says to just press Control to exit standby. But there's no control button. I do need my vision checked. You are correct. My vision is definitely not what it used to be. Don't get old, Adam. That's all I gotta say. Don't get old. Or I should say, don't get older. Let's see a test now that you have a couple wired in. I'll need to do the data wires first. So I won't be able to quite test it yet. I want to have enough that it actually is worth testing. Cameron, keep it down over there, you young whippersnapper. So this one, I don't like the way this one was going down. Trim that off a little bit. Add just a little bit more solder down here. There we go. Now this should make a little bit of a better connection. Was this the one? No, this is the one. Oh no. Cameron's getting in on joking with Flying Crow about the railroad that he models. Yeah, this is I think this might have been one of the earlier ones that I did, because the amount of solder that I've got on the strips is less than on some of the other ones, so I do want to get a decent connection. I wouldn't go as far as saying good, because this is me doing this after all. But I will say decent. Those lights have resistors in them, or resistors not needed. My understanding is that these are probably likely wired in series, so they do not need resistors. I think we determined there's 6 of them on a string, and I believe with the 6 of them on the string, that if you just wire them in series, it'll all be just ducky, and it'll all work well. Go sit in the corner. Felt quite young. Vision is no longer Z-scale. That is very true. My vision is definitely not Z-scale approved anymore. I'm waiting for the soldering iron to heat up. It keeps when I go to do the wires, it kind of cools down on me. So I gotta let it get back up to temperature, because at lower temperatures, it really is not soldering as well. That solder joint looks a little bit cold. So you might be asking yourself, why in the world am I making this so complicated on myself? The reason I'm making this so complicated on myself is that I have a video that I hope I can get out later in the week that's going to explain what that layout is over there. And that layout over there is going to have a camera on it. And because that layout over there is going to have a camera on it, I want to get a good amount of light on everything. So that's why I'm spending all the time on this is it's because what I want to do with the layout that's going to be underneath it is going to require a lot of light. And so I thought this would be the good way to do it. Why do they do this? The way they wrap these things up, it makes it like so impossible to get the wire out. So it says NC and DI. Anyone know what NC and DI are? I'm trying to determine which one I should use for the blue wire and which one I should use for the white wire. And once I get these blue and white wires hooked up, I can do a little test, and we'll see what happens. NC is not connected. Oh, data in. It's definitely DI and NC. Data in makes sense. Oh, not connected. So I only need 3 wires. Let's try it with 3 wires. I mean, what's the worst that could happen is it catches on fire and everyone laughs. And, you know, there are only 3 traces on this coming off of the ends. So I think that was a good... I think that's a good call. I think I do only need 3, which makes me a lot happier. And we'll use blue for data because, I don't know, you want DO to DI. There is no DO. It's DI to DI. They all say DI. I think it's just that it's... I think you get what you pay for here. I think they just screen print everything to be the same. Yeah, I could blame it on Roy if it doesn't work. That is a very good plan. I like that one. Yep, on both ends it just says DI. I think it makes sense though. Look more carefully. It definitely says NC and DI. What do you want me to look more carefully at? I may be blind, but I still know... I can still read the DO and the DI. Okay. I'm having a hard time getting in there. Oh, well, that would be It was on standby again. I need to look at the directions and figure out how to lengthen the standby time. Yeah, both ends. Is not might need some more Mountain Dew. I have not had a Mountain Dew in a long time. All right, so for fun and games, just because we're not sure if this is 2 or 3 wires, and I don't know if we're really going to be able to tell necessarily, but let's just plug it in and see. Worst case scenario is we blame Roy. Yeah, Lynn. So did everyone see it? Can you see it? Let me turn some lights off. There you go. So now you should be able to see it. And if I go to the app, I didn't just type my password in again, did I? Because that would have been bad. So if I go to scenes, we could do Aurora. We could do fire. So they're working. And these are coming on, I think, just because everything's a little confused. So we're gonna just turn them off and keep going. Saw it flash right on camera too. Yes, it looks like I did something on camera correctly. Let me get some light back on and I will keep soldering the blue wire because I need more blue. As I heat up the ends of these, the sticky's not sticking as well anymore. So we're still at 700. Are these individually addressed? Yes. These are individually addressed LEDs. Oh. I meant your phone password on both ends. Did I type in the password on camera? No, it used my face recognition, didn't it? Don't tell me I used my password again. No, did I really? I'm pretty sure I didn't type in the passcode because I have to think really hard of what the passcode is because I just recently changed it. I should just stop doing live streams. I did. I typed in my passcode. What am I doing? Why do I keep doing that? Oh, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is definitely not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I really? Now I'm like, are you guys just messing with me? Because it comes right up. True dudes, I watched the replay. No, okay, thank you. Everyone's got me all nervous now. I did actually think about it though, as I was looking at it, I was like, oh no, did I do it again? Oh, come on. typed. I honestly can't tell what you typed. Tell us your passcode so we can make sure we didn't see it. Well, I'm glad I asked what people thought the Oh, okay, so here's something interesting. Uh this side says DI, this side says DI, but this side here says DO. Which would be the wrong side though, which would be backwards. See, I really want to finish this tonight too, but I know I should go to sleep at some point. Yeah, my browser history. I don't use this computer for that kind of nonsense. Not that I would ever do that kind of nonsense. Let me get a little more solder on this one. This is moving pretty quick now. Well, I'm going to need to get this plastic off soon. Tried not to cut myself on camera because that would be embarrassing. He does stuff on his Mac because it doesn't get viruses. Very, very true. Very true. Manny Fernandez, thanks for popping in. Good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. With a super sticker. Hey, you. Just do half the lights, finish next live stream. I'm hoping... I mean, I could finish next live stream, but who's gonna log in or who's gonna check in on the stream when they know that I know what I'm doing, and we all know that it's gonna work. I think part of the I think the only reason why anybody showed up tonight was because, you know, there was a good chance this wasn't gonna work. But now that we're, you know, just doing factory work, I don't think anybody wants to see me just, you know, do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I mean, maybe people do. I mean, we could just hang out and chat for a little bit. Is Split Rock still here? I'm curious if Split Rock wants to go live. I'll jump off and he can we can all go hang out over on his channel. I haven't seen Split Rock post in a while. I think maybe he fell asleep. Maybe I put him to sleep. Andrew, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. This is an exciting project for me right here. What I'm working on right here, and I'm gonna be really excited when I'm able to kind of show off what all this work was for. So I really do appreciate that, and yeah, I do appreciate that. Hey, if it's my time, I will log in. Is it your time? Hi. I would show up next week to watch me keep soldering. There we go. Did everyone see me type in my password? There was no password. Scene. Festival. Fireworks. Can't really see it, can you? Alexa, turn off softboxes. There we go. So that's the first 4. I'm gonna wrap this puppy up because I got 4 working. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, as they say. And I'm gonna put a pause in this, and I'm gonna come back to it another time. But I can't wait. If you weren't here earlier, not that one. Yeah, that one. There's gonna be something exciting going on over here in this area. And that's why I'm doing all this, is to do that. No, so they're flashing right now. I have it set on, let me, oh, I can do it back there. So can you guys see the lights behind me? So the lights behind me, this is the system that these are on. They do, like, you can do patterns and stuff with them. So this one, give it a second to connect, scene. So like this is Valentine's Day, you know, and it just sort of does these things. This one is Carnival. So you can see what it's doing behind me. So yeah, these are, we already know. Go to sleep, Heath. Yeah, I know. We already know what the shelf is going to be. How do you know what the shelf is going to be? I know you know, Roy, because I told you. I don't know that I've told everybody. I should have a video. If I can get the time to edit the video, I'll have a video coming out on Friday. And the video that's going to come out on Friday is going to be a lot more information about what I'm planning. And I just have to edit it. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll have time. And I will get the editing done. But in the meantime, from the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens. Alexa, turn off shelf lights. Alexa, turn off side shelf.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about you.